This is the Fantasy Roadshow.
Good morning and happy Sunday to everybody that's joining us over here at the Fantasy Roadshow for some wonderful Sunday morning start sits. Today we're talking just that. We're answering questions for you guys. Any questions you guys have, feel free to fire them off in the comments section and we'll get them answered for you. We're going to talk about our own personal lineups. We're going to be talking about the slate a little bit. I am a little under the weather today. Hopefully my voice doesn't sound too terrible, but Shane, how are you doing today?
Sounding much better than you, it sounds like. I am full of 5 pumpkin walnut waffles I had this morning. So
Waffles.
Pumpkin walnut waffles. So I'm all hyped up on that. And so I am cooking. I am ready to go.
All right. Your engines are revving. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you have anything in the news? I know there's quite a few players that are questionable. I saw Devontae Adams questionable, Amari Cooper questionable. Do we have any sort of inkling on any sort of early questionable players?
Yeah. So what I've seen this morning is Adams is going to be good to go. Cooper is going to be good to go. Kind of playing with the splint on his wrist. Jaylen Warren, who's questionable with a back injury, is good to go.
Okay.
So that'd be good. George Kittle, unlikely to play in the late 3:00 game. So
okay.
you've got to have some late window. You'll have some late window options to pick up if you wanted to pick up and wait and see. But early reports this morning are that he is unlikely to play due to a hamstring injury.
Well, that's unfortunate for the 49ers. I like the Niners to win that game too. So I feel like they need Kittle in order to get rolling there.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, we'll talk about some good matchups. What matchups are you excited for today? Today we got obviously Bears Packers. We got Jacksonville Detroit. That's going to be a blowout. Jared Wise, we got a question real quick. PPR DK Metcalf. Tough matchup at San Francisco, yes, or T. Higgins at Chargers. Both tough matchups. I'm going DK Metcalf. Where are you going, Shane?
Yeah, I think so also. He's right. Those are tough matchups. But, yeah, I'll go DK. I wish I could remember the source I saw on Twitter this weekend, but I think it was the last 7 or 8 times T. Higgins has come back from injury. His first game, he's never eclipsed 50 yards receiving. So that's interesting. That was interesting to me, what stood out. And Higgins has been out, I think, now, 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks.
Yep.
So Metcalf, the reports I read, I was following it all week because I've got him in multiple leagues, is that he was 100% go in practices. So he feels good.
Yeah, and the Chargers are giving up fewer receptions and receiving yards to wide receivers.
Yeah.
So tough matchup for San Francisco, but even tougher for the T. Higgins at the Chargers. Debo or London rest of season. That's a tough one. I really love London, so I'm going to say London. I'd rather have London rest of season than Debo. But with that being said, are the 49ers better than the Falcons at this point of the season? I feel like they're pretty much like right there with each other.
Yeah, I lean London also, just because if you were telling me like Christian McCaffrey wasn't playing, then maybe I'd go lean Debo. But now with McCaffrey back, I think the Kittle absence is only going to be one game. I just like London probably more in PPR, more opportunities, more targets. So I'd lean London.
And Ricky Pearsall is really coming into his form.
Yeah,
well.
Pearsall, that's a good point too.
Pearsall is looking really good for San Francisco. I mean, although Darnell Mooney is arguably one of the better receivers on the team. So
yeah, but definitely Debo this week, based on
Debo. Yeah, Debo over London this week. London over Debo rest of the season.
Yeah,
good point. Ryan, what's going on, Ryan? How you doing? Good morning. Aaron Jones, Chase Brown, or Audric Estime. I'm leaning Aaron Jones, but worried about touches as he's been banged up and game flow. Yeah, I mean, Chase Brown has been looking really good, especially in the passing game last week. I think he had 11 targets in last game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So in a tough matchup against the Chargers, Burrow could easily be looking to check it down to Chase quite a bit this game. That's what I'm envisioning and predicting. But I mean, I feel like you got to go Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is the best running back out of the three. Vikings should win this game. So if it was up to me, I would be starting Aaron Jones, but Chase Brown would make it interesting for me. I would not be starting Audric Estime if I have these other two.
Yeah, I agree. It's a slight lean for me for Aaron Jones over Brown. A little bit less of a run defense he's facing. Chargers are 9th fewest rushing yards allowed per game. Tennessee's now dropped down to 13th. Over the last 3 games, Tennessee's given up 140 yards rushing per game on average.
Yeah, very unlike them from early on in the season. They were very, very good.
Yeah.
Mr. Magic, what's going on? Tillman over Aaron Jones this week. Cedric Tillman over Aaron Jones this week. I think I'd do as PPR. I'm assuming this is a PPR league. Mm-hmm. If it is, I would be fine going Tillman over Aaron Jones. We saw Tillman be the number 1 guy for Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston, this is a revenge game for him in the Superdome. So I expect Jameis Winston to be slinging it around. This is going to be a sneaky good game. I kind of like this game with the way the Saints played better last week and Cleveland with what they're capable of. So I'm fine going Cedric Tillman over Aaron Jones in a PPR league.
Yeah, me too. I was just looking because I thought this was the case over the last 3 games. Tillman's targets, 12, 9, 11 targets. So he's getting double-digit targets every game. I don't think that changes this week. 8, 7, and 6 catches. So you're getting in PPR leagues, you're getting a pretty safe floor. Like I feel like you're going to get for sure double-digit points from Tillman. So yeah, I'd lean Tillman PPR.
Yeah, I agree. Ryan, do you think PS2 Patrick Surtain will shadow London all game today, or Atlanta moves London around? Not sure if PS2 comes inside much for the slot. Shane, can you speak on this a little bit more on how he shadows?
So listen, I did see a lot that London does move into the slot. I think it was almost 50% of the time last week he moved into the slot some. I'm not sure. I can't quite honestly say if Surtain moves into the slot or not. I just think in this game, Mooney's coming into this game. He missed a lot of practices. He was listed as questionable heading into the game with an Achilles strain. I just think that they will make a concerted effort to put PS2 on London most of the game. And there's just a bad history of when he lines up on number 1 receivers. It's the top guys this year have been under 40 yards and no touchdowns. So Ryan, depending on who you've got instead of London, I would probably bench London unless you're talking, someone like, I'm not benching him for probably somebody like MVS or something.
Yeah, I agree. Ryan, also, any more Lamb news? Is it 50-50 that plays? Should I pick up Tolbert and drop Estime just to be safe? What do you think, Shane?
So it's better than 50-50. The quote last night I had read from McCarthy was, they asked him about the Lamb news. He said, this is nothing, mate. This isn't really anything. It was just something that popped up in the walkthrough. He'll be out there playing. I would say this is like a 85-90% chance of him playing. I don't think he's going to miss this game.
Yeah. Mr. Magic, just realized Kyler is on waivers right now. I'm going to drop Downs. My other quarterback is JD too. Kyler shouldn't be on waivers. Yeah. So if you got him, if you're going to drop Downs, I mean, I think that's safe right now with Anthony Richardson at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, so is Anthony Richardson going to be the quarterback the rest of the season?
I think so.
Right? I mean, you can't just keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The coach has made this change, and I think Anthony Richardson is going to lead the team the rest of the season. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So in that case, I'd be fine dropping Downs. Pick up Kyler too. Yeah, absolutely. Good on you, Mr. Magic. All right. Dude, Kansas City Buffalo today. Like, this is incredible. And just based on that question alone, we have Danny Cousins chiming in. Mahomes or Love, Chase Brown or Kenneth Walker PPR. So Mahomes at Buffalo, Love at Chicago, Chase Brown at Los Angeles, or Kenneth Walker at San Francisco. So between the two, Love and Mahomes, Shane, what do you think there?
Well, we both had Love on our red light list this week on
Yep.
quarterbacks. It's just not a good history against Chicago for these receivers. I'm going with Mahomes. I think I saw like the last 4 games, including the playoffs. I think Mahomes has hit at least 2 touchdowns against Buffalo, throwing the ball. I just like that to be I'm looking at that like a 30-27, 30-28 game, and I think it's a better chance for production for Mahomes.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going Mahomes over Love. Love was on the red light list this week. Chase Brown or Kenneth Walker. I think I'm going Chase Brown here. With his involvement in the passing game last week, it's really intriguing. He's looked like a really good running back. Both tough matchups, San Francisco and Los Angeles, not ideal for running backs, but I'm going to go with the Chase Brown, who's been active in the passing game and hasn't really been much help from Khalil Herbert. I don't know if we'll see him much today either. So I'm going Chase Brown in that question.
Yeah, I was just looking because I was wondering, and yeah, so earlier this year, Walker had 14 rushes for 32 yards against San Francisco. He did have a touchdown. It was probably a goal line. I agree. I would go with Chase Brown because you get the receiving production there. Walker's just not going to get very much of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Magic, how is the Bills game not primetime? So I agree with you. The Bills game should have replaced Houston and Dallas in the Monday night game. 1,000%. That is a big mess up by the NFL. However, the NFL views that 3:00 game on CBS as like a mini primetime game. It's their game of the week. It is nationally televised on CBS, so every market gets to view it, and everyone will be watching that at 3:25. So, it should have been a Monday Night Football game. I agree, but NFL is looking at it as a mini primetime.
Yep.
If Bills don't knock off the Chiefs today, could they run the tables? Dolphins, the last team to go undefeated. Yes. This is what I said from the very beginning. I think it was like 5 or 6 weeks ago that the Chiefs, if they beat Buffalo in Buffalo, they will go on undefeated and they will win their 3rd championship in a row. It is the first time a team has ever won 3 in a row, and it's going to be the first time any team can go 17-0. And if they win today, it's going to happen. Buffalo is missing players. Like I know Keon Coleman hasn't been a huge help, but Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid, 2 massive pieces to the Buffalo Bills passing game. It sounds like we're going to have Amari Cooper on the field. We're going to have, Lil Shaker and James Cook, but Kansas City's defense has been dominant. So this is a tough matchup. The person that's going to need to win the game is Josh Allen. And we've seen him do this time and time again where he gets down to the last play and it just doesn't work out. And I feel like he is motivated now more than ever to win this game. So I think he's going to be playing lights out, but it's just going to be tough, man. I don't know, Shane, what's your gauge on this game?
I think what's interesting about this is nobody's really talking about is think about how many close games the Chiefs have been in this year. I mean, just down to the wire. And now they're without Harrison Butker, probably one of the top 2 kickers in the league. And so I'm just interesting to see what this looks like if this comes down to a last-minute field goal option and it's a guy they've just signed off the streets, this week.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I was not aware of that, so thank you for mentioning that. But yeah, with Kansas City, with the addition of DeAndre Hopkins, they're like that just adds a whole new dynamic to this team, and they're so much fun to watch. The Buffalo's run defense isn't great, so they're going to establish the run with Kareem Hunt. Like I want the Bills to win so bad. Okay, I just want to preface that I want the Bills to knock off the Chiefs so they don't have an undefeated season. However, my brain is telling me that the Chiefs are going to win today just because the team looks better. They're obviously they have their own injuries with what happened earlier in the season, but as of right now, they seem like the healthier team. Yeah, I don't know. Who do you think wins, Shane?
I think the Chiefs will win too. I just think it's like so many people they talk about different things, but when you have the best quarterback and the best coaching staff in the league, the best offensive coordinator and Andy Reid and the best defensive coordinator and Spags, that's such a huge advantage.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then not to mention all the pieces, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, DeAndre Hopkins, Kareem Hunt. So that's going to be tough sledding for the Bills. Allen does have good games against the Chiefs. He does. He plays up to the competition. You're right. But I think the Chiefs have had good defenses the last couple of years, but I feel like their defense right now is better than it has been in previous seasons. Shane, do you agree?
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Should I trade for Olave? LOL.
I'm assuming
Depends on your situation.
Well, I'm assuming you're meaning dynasty. I don't think Olave's coming back this year.
No. And I mean, if in dynasty, that's fine. I mean, you're getting him at a huge discount because of the injury right now. I think Olave is the type of player that could bounce back from this injury. So in dynasty, absolutely. And also depending on your team build, you know what I mean? Like, what are you giving up? What does your team look like with the addition of Olave? So, Mr. Magic, you want to let us know some context? We'll help you guide you in the right direction. Pick 2 PPR. We got Downs, Pearsall, Amari, Tillman. Appreciate y'all. Okay, so not Downs. We're ruling out Downs right away. Between Pearsall, Amari, and Tillman, has Pearsall shown you enough in his limited playing time to trust him over Amari Cooper or Cedric Tillman?
I think what helps Pearsall, like we just mentioned at the beginning show, no George Kittle. So maybe you get 2 or 3 extra catches, bump in catches there against Seattle. I'm just a little concerned, like with Cooper not practicing really most of the week, and I'm pretty sure I haven't checked the reports, but I feel like he's playing with some sort of splint on that wrist area. I'm going to lean Tillman for sure, and probably Pearsall.
Yeah, I think it's safer. It's the safer play to go with Pearsall.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously with the loss of Kittle, so that definitely helps. So, yeah, we're going Pearsall, Tillman. Best streaming tight end option this week. Need McBride option. Shane, rip it off for him. Who's the best tight end streaming option this week?
So we had Dalton Kincaid ruled out. So you could go Dawson Knox in that game versus the Chiefs if we think that's going to be high scoring. There's Jonnu Smith, who's had some good games. He was tackled down at the 1. I'd probably actually lean to, if he's available, Will Dissly.
Yep, I was waiting for it. That's it.
We talked about him on our show as a green light based off of his targets, averaging 7 over his last 4. But more importantly, like, you could get 2 weeks out of him. So you could get this week against the Bengals, who's really bad against the pass. And then next week he faces, I believe, the Ravens, and we know how bad they are against the pass. So you could be looking at a 2-week option if you needed it.
Yeah, I love that. Will Dissly is the play this week. Goff or Lamar? The Steelers always smother Lamar. I heard this is the 36th time these two coaches have squared off against each other. Feels like a hard-hitting, old-fashioned, brutal rival game. Yeah, this is one of the few rivalries in football that's just going to stand the test of time. You know, we got Bears-Packers today, Ravens-Steelers. Goff or Lamar is the question here, right? And Goff should win this game by like 17 points. Goff should have a great game. But is that enough reason to start him over Lamar Jackson, who's the front runner for MVP? That's the question.
Yeah, I was just looking. Yeah, he didn't have a great game. He only played him once last year. He threw for 236, no touchdowns. He did rush for 45 yards. But I'm sticking with him for this matchup, just because mostly what I'm concerned about Goff is this a game like when they faced Tennessee where he throws the ball like 18 times? Now, in that game, I think he had 2 passing touchdowns, but it was only like 120 or 30 yards passing. I just feel like it's in the second half, this could be very limited passing opportunities for Goff facing this Jacksonville team led by Mac Jones, who their owners have come out and said if they don't win, their coach is fired tonight.
Yeah, they might as well fire him before the game starts. Okay, there's no way you're winning this game. Yeah. But I agree with you. The game script could get out of hand for Goff, and his production could dip because of that. So yeah, Lamar's got to be the answer. I know this is going to be a great game to watch, let alone I think it's going to be a great game in general. Like, I feel like Lamar's going to do enough for you to be happy that you're starting him. That's all.
Yeah.
Mr. Magic. Oh, the Olave trade was redraft. Coach said they didn't rule him out for the season.
Yeah, he's not ruled out. I just don't know if he's going to play anymore. Coming off of IR, especially if you look at what that team's record is, they're on their interim coach. I just don't know if they don't make a long-term decision and he doesn't play anymore. So,
yeah, I'm not trading for Olave.
You'd have to be giving up something pretty low on the totem pole for him, in my mind. So,
someone you just picked up off waivers.
Yeah, someone like a waiver guy for sure. So,
yeah, that's tough. All right, if you guys have any other questions, we're going to be streaming live for another 12 minutes. We're going to cut it out at 10:30. Got a busy day today, and I got to feel better. All right, so we talked about this Kansas City Buffalo. What about the Seattle-San Francisco game? I think this is going to be high scoring, 48.5 over-under, one of the highest over-unders of the week. San Francisco is favored by 6 points at home. Is there any way Seattle can beat San Francisco this week?
I don't think so. Not in San Francisco. I don't. This sets up as a bad Geno Smith game. I think you're looking at 2 or 3 interceptions. So, I think they can cover this spread pretty easily.
Yeah. Hot tea with honey may help, Truck. Hope you feel better. I have been drinking that nonstop, man. I have just been I'm having coffee this morning, obviously, with my Christmas morning mug because it's Christmas morning every football Sunday. But I have been drinking a lot of hot tea with honey, and it has been helping. But it's all nasally. It's not really like I don't have a sore throat. It's just I think it's a sinus infection or what. I don't know. It's just
brutal. You know what? Have you ever tried? I just could never get myself to do it. Is like what do they call it? The whatever pot.
The neti pot.
Yeah, I haven't been able to do it, but
I've never done a neti pot, but I invested in this thing called the Navage. I don't know if anybody in the comment section knows about the Navage. It's an apparatus that you hold up and it goes into your nose, and there's a tank up top with a salt water. There's a certain type of solution, and it flows through and then goes into the bottom tank. It is weird. It is a weird sensation. It took me a couple tries to get used to it, but I haven't used it in a while. I could use it. I'm sure that would help, but it's strange. If anybody out there knows about the Navage or tried it, let me know in the comments section.
Because I've seen like the videos of it, and I'm like, no, I don't think I could ever do that.
Yeah, it's strange. Houston or Packers defense today? I have Lamb, so I don't want to pick up Houston just yet, but I have a feeling someone may snag them today if I don't. Houston's defense should have a great game against Dallas. Packers D against Chicago. Yeah, absolutely. Chicago's been terrible, but I may be talking like this because I'm a fan, but removing the offensive coordinator may give the players some sort of motivation in this game. They know it's a big game. Caleb knows this is his first time playing Green Bay. It's in Chicago. With all the negativity that's been said about the Bears, they could, in my opinion, come out hot today. Is it going to be enough to win the game? I don't know, but I feel like Chicago has a chance to do something better that they haven't been doing the last couple of weeks. Shane, am I crazy for saying that?
No, you're not. And this is interesting, Ryan, that you asked this question, because I don't think a lot of people do this, but I have done it in 2 leagues now this week, and it's going to sound like against all logic to do this, but in a couple of leagues, I have picked up Houston now in 2 leagues, and I'm carrying 2 defenses. And these are just in leagues where I'm projected to make the playoffs. And so I'm looking at now matchups for the next 3 weeks if I'm trying to get into the playoffs, or then maybe what week 1 of the playoffs are. If you're fighting to try to get in the playoffs, so this is why I picked up Houston. They've got Dallas this week. Next week, they've got Will Levis and the Titans at home. After that, they face Jacksonville. Who knows what that's going to be? So that's a nice 3-week span.
That is beautiful 3 weeks. That might be the best 3 weeks a defense can have at this point in the season right now.
Yeah, Green Bay, on the other hand, they've got Chicago this week, but then they've got the 49ers and the Dolphins after that. So,
Yeah.
and then Detroit after that. So if you've got to pick one, I would just take Houston based off of the next 3 weeks.
I agree with that. I think you should pick up Houston for sure. I'm going to be looking to grab Houston in any league I can now after that.
Yeah.
We got Hunter Henry or Dawson Knox. No Kincaid today. Should be a really good game with Buffalo, Kansas City. Hunter Henry has just been really, really good with Drake May.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Dawson Knox has a chance to score a touchdown today for sure. Here's the thing. Kansas City is terrible at defending tight ends. Tight ends go off against Kansas City. I'm fine starting Knox over Henry. Shane, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to lean Henry. I was looking at, I knew he had a bad game last week, but that's against the Bears. We talked about passing games or struggle against the Bears. But before that, 8 receptions, 5 receptions, 7 receptions. Like Chuck said, he has something with Drake May. So I'd go with Hunter Henry.
Yeah. Thanks. If I play Houston today, will it hurt me with also playing Lamb? No, I don't think so, because Dallas as a team as a whole isn't going to do enough to where it'll be a negatively impact your defensive play with Houston. But all you're looking for is Lamb to get those 6 to 7 catches with 60 to 70 yards, which is definitely in the realm of possibility. If he catches a touchdown, that's great. That doesn't really hurt your defensive play with Houston. Dallas isn't just going to do enough to make Houston's defense not score points.
Yeah, you look at it like last week, like if Jerry would have closed the blinds, then Lamb catches a touchdown and you end up with a 12 or 13 PPR points, but that wouldn't have been that detrimental against your Eagles defense as a whole.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. All right, if you guys have any other questions, we're live for another 6 minutes. Fire them off. Sunday Night Football, Shane, Cincinnati at Los Angeles. What's your gauge on this game? Like, I know a lot of people are excited to watch this game. Cincinnati's defense hasn't been great. Chargers have the upper hand in the defense section, but I mean, this is the first game where we're going to have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Jermaine Burton with a running back that's been playing good in Chase Brown. And Joe Burrow I think he's leading the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns.
Yeah, I actually think the Bengals can win this game straight out. With T. Higgins back, like I really liked what I saw against the Ravens last week. I just think now with Higgins back, you don't have to worry about the Chargers like being up multiple scores on you. They're slow, methodical, moving offense. Like they're not going to get up big on you. So I feel like they can win this game straight out.
I do too. I think Cincinnati's the better team, although I think the Chargers have the better coach. Right? Better coach and better defense at home usually equates to a win, but we'll see, man. I think this is going to be a sneaky good game. Over-under is 48.5. Chargers are favored by 1. This is going to be a great game for Sunday Night Football. Yeah. It's going to be a good game to bet on too. So, all right, cool. What about Atlanta at Denver? Denver's 2-point favorites at Denver. Denver's been playing really good ball. Really good ball, right? Who do you think wins this? Do you think Denver wins?
I think Denver wins. And can we just talk about because I was looking at the rankings right now, like consensus rankings, everybody's got Bo Nix as like he's inside the top 10 quarterbacks for the week. Wow. And think about like where he was drafted at. I mean, probably if he was even drafted at all, or he's probably a waiver wire in most leagues.
Yeah, I don't think he was. I don't think he was drafted in most leagues.
And so now he's at the point like he is a top 10 consensus draft pick. Like, yeah, I think they can win this game straight out. I don't trust Atlanta on the road, mile high altitude. Patrick Surtain, I'm worried about Kirk Cousins. If you have Cousins, like he's honestly like if you were to look at his numbers outside of the 2 Tampa Bay games, it's not great.
Yeah. No, I agree. Denver's got the better defense.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I agree. Denver's going to win. All right. How about Baltimore-Pittsburgh? What is going on? Baltimore is favored by 3 points. Pittsburgh is dogs at home by 3 points. Over-under is 48.5. Vegas sees a lot of points scored in this game.
Oh, wow.
I think Pittsburgh wins this game.
Yeah, I think they can win it. And I would be shocked if it goes over that total amount based off of the history of those two playing each other.
I agree. I mean, both defenses are really good, but both offenses can score points. I'm expecting a big game from George Pickens today. Massive game from George Pickens. They're going to need it because Najee Harris was on a red light list. I don't think he has a good game today. So,
yeah,
man, I cannot wait for this game.
Yeah,
I'm picking Steelers to win, though.
It's so I go back and forth. Like I'm like, okay, if you look at the stats and everything it says, like Pittsburgh should just move the ball through the air on them, score points. But then if like you look at the history, like there's usually lower scoring games between the two of them. And so I just wondered, it's like, okay, is that defense that bad enough that bucks the trend and Pittsburgh just puts up a ton of points on them?
Yeah. Will 20-mile-an-hour winds at Miami impact A-Chain today with catches? I'm going to say no, because typically as a running back, you're getting short yard. You know what I mean? He's not catching the ball 30 yards downfield to have the wind impact the pass at all. So those short yard dump offs or over the middle of the field, I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, we just talked about this on the show. They're basically Waddle and Tyreek are not getting a lot of production. They're like clearing out, and Tua is just getting the ball out of his hands super quick. Like it's either going to Jonnu Smith most of the time or A-Chain.
Hey, Caleb Williams, take notes. Take notes. Get the ball out of. That's what I want to see today for Chicago, man. I want to see him get the ball out of his hands, throw it away. Do something, make a read, and make a throw. I don't care if the throw is off target. I don't care if it's an interception. I want him to get the ball out quick. That's what I want to see today from Caleb.
Not take 9 sacks again.
Well, you're just holding on to the ball too long, and that's all. That's what it comes down to. Make a decision, make a move, make a play.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like Chicago has a chance to win this game. It's a very, very slim chance. Very, very slim. Green Bay is a great team. But coming into Chicago is always tough. Over-under is 40.5. That's one of the lowest of the week.
Yeah, I think they
Minnesota,
could too.
Tennessee is 39.5.
Like,
you think Chicago can win?
I think they can. I mean, it's like Jordan Love. We talked about it. He has not been good the last 3 weeks.
No.
And I don't care who it is. Chicago has shut down the passing game most of the time. So unless they just come in and dominate on the run in the run game, I think this is a close game. Like I feel like this is a field goal game either way.
Yeah, I agree. Bear down. I'm hoping for a good game. So we'll see what happens. All right, Shane. I think that about does it for our Sunday live stream. Join us every Sunday. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on socials. But join us every Sunday at 10 a.m. We are live answering your questions. And check out our Red Light, Green Light episode every week, highlighting good matchups, bad matchups, all that fun stuff. You guys are the best. Hope everybody wins your matchups and wins your bets. Shane, I hope you have a great day today. And I hope I feel better soon.
Yeah, I hope you feel better, man. Also, in the next hour and a half, trucks may be out of commission. But if you guys have any other questions, hit me up on Twitter. We'll be, we can answer questions on Twitter still. So
absolutely, yeah. Throughout the day, even throughout the week. You know what I mean? You follow us on social and hit us up. We'll be there for you. Other than that, everybody buckle up. Have a good Sunday.